Namaskar. We have entered what could be the final week of the lockdown. The Prime Minister, in his interaction with the Chief Ministers, has highlighted that the country will have to give importance to the economy as well as continue in the fight against the novel coronavirus. He, however, forewarned that the danger of the virus is far from over. He's urged the Chief Ministers to factor in changes in weather and associated seasonal illnesses that could come with it. And the Prime Minister has also said that we have to be brave and to bring in reforms and touch the lives of common citizens. So staying ahead of the curve and consolidating the gains that we have made till now is going to be in focus in Newsnight. Let's begin with the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with state chief ministers through video conference, discusses dealing with COVID-19. The Prime Minister highlights positive results from lockdown. Thousands of lives have been saved in 1.5 months, emphasizes 2 yards mantra and urges the states to work towards converting red zones into orange and then to green zones. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tells the chief ministers that along with the fight against COVID-19, there's an importance that must be given to the economy. The Prime Minister urges leaders to formulate plans to improve the lives of the ordinary people. ICMR advises states to stop using rapid test kits from China, asks the states to return all these kits, which would then be returned to the suppliers, assures the countrymen that there is no shortage of testing kits. The government says that the economic activities have increased during the second phase of the lockdown. More than 2 crore jobs under Manrega, and 80% of harvesting has been completed for the Rabi crop. 80% of mandis are working for the farmers. The Reserve Bank of India announces special liquidity facility of 50,000 crore rupees to mutual funds. Steps taken to reduce economic impact of coronavirus and to maintain financial stability. The Health Minister holds a video conference with 10 major healthcare institutions, including AIIMS, across the country, asks them to be prepared for the challenges to come. Hospitals say that they have no shortages of any kind. The number of active cases of coronavirus across the country is 21,132. 886 people have died due to the virus. 6,361 patients have recovered after treatment so far. And worldwide, the cases of coronavirus have increased to more than 29,89,000. The global death toll has crossed 2,07,000. The US, Italy, Spain, Britain and France account for a majority of the fatalities. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson fully recovers and returns to work and warns against lifting of the restrictions. Our top story. The centre has said that the discrimination against the frontline workers is uncalled for and the stigmatization is a huge impediment to our fight against COVID-19. The centre has said that the stigma should be addressed through an intensive campaign. The government has added that there is no risk of transmission from recovered patients. They, in fact, can be a potential source of healing for antibodies using plasma therapy. The centre has appealed that all should avoid spreading misinformation and panic, and no community or area should be labelled as being COVID-19 spreaders. The spokesperson in the Ministry of Home Affairs has said that over 2 crore people have got employment through Manrega in the country till now. And the spokesperson in the Health Ministry assured that at the level of ICMR, we have sufficient number of kits as far as RT-PCR test is concerned. Not only sufficient number of kits are available, but also we have parallelly ensured geographical adequacy of the same. Well, the Prime Minister has interacted with chief ministers of states, and he pointed out that the lockdown had saved thousands of lives. He asked them to motivate the people to download the Arogya Setu app as well, which would help in detecting an active coronavirus carrier. And he highlighted the importance of technology in this battle against coronavirus and in bringing in reforms that can touch the lives of the common citizens. Here's our detailed report.
As India enters final week of the lockdown, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday conveyed to the chief ministers that the country will have to give importance to the economy as well as to continue the fight against coronavirus. Prime Minister had interactions with many chief ministers via video conference. Prime Minister underlined that the lockdown has yielded positive results as country has managed to save thousands of lives in the past 1.5 months. The situation in many countries, including India, was similar at the start of the month of March. However, due to timely measures, India has been able to protect many people. Prime Minister, however, warned that the danger is far from over and constant vigil is of paramount importance. Prime Minister further said that the country has seen 2 lockdowns and now it has to think of the way ahead. Quoting experts, he said that the impact of coronavirus will remain visible in coming months. He reiterated his mantra of Do Gaz Doori and added that masks and face covers will become part of our lives in days and months ahead. Prime Minister said that we have to give importance to the economy as well as continue the fight against COVID-19. Prime Minister also highlighted the importance for state governments to enforce guidelines strictly in the hotspots, that is, in the red zone areas. He said that efforts of the state governments should be directed towards converting the red zones into orange and then finally to green zones. On their part, the chief ministers praised the leadership of Prime Minister during this period and highlighted the efforts undertaken by them in containing the spread of COVID-19. They spoke about the need to keep a vigil on international borders and also on addressing the economic challenge and ways to further boost health infrastructure in the country. The leaders expressed gratitude towards the police force and the medical staff for the work done by them in the fight against COVID-19. This is Prime Minister Modi's 4th such interaction with chief ministers since March 22, when he first spoke to them on the situation and steps taken to contain the pandemic. 2 days later, on March 24th, Prime Minister announced a 21-day nationwide lockdown. He extended the lockdown till May 3rd on April 14th. Newsnight Desk, DD India.
So let's take a look at, the supply chain of essential items that have been moving throughout the period of the lockdown. We can see that trucks moving food and pharmacies. We know that 46% on 30th March has now risen to 76% on April 25. So that is the movement of trucks. Now the movement of rakes, the trains, that is 67% on March 30 and now 76% as of April 25. Let's find out about the other pair, that's movement of ports as well. We need to see what's happening in ports. And in ports, we also saw that about in ports, in fact, it was on March 30th, it was 70%, and on April 25, it was 87% traffic handled by ports. So we can see that, we're getting back to normal to a large extent as far as essential commodities and as far as goods movement is concerned. Operation of major mandis in the country, that too we saw was also operation of major mandis, 61% on March 31 and now 79%, so 80% as of April 25. Let's look at some of the major government institutions which have been working round the clock. We know to deliver goods and services, essential commodities. 109 parcel trains of the Indian Railways, in fact, have been sending traffic up and down throughout. We can see that in our next slide that will appear shortly about how the government institutions have been involved in the handling of essential commodities, in the movement of essential goods and services. We know that IRCTC has also been, we say this there, 109 parcel trains of the Indian Railways have been working, and more than 400 rakes day and night have been working. IRCTC serves more than 2.5 lakh meals every day. 329 Udan cargo flights with 700 plus metric tons of essentials have also been operated during this lockdown period, and India Post has delivered 100 plus metric tons of medicines and medical equipment. All this during the period of the lockdown. India Post has also delivered 1 lakh food packets, which is extremely important, and so India Post's excelling there. India Post's payment and DBT worth about 730 crore rupees to 34 lakh persons. This is part of what they have been doing. Let's try and understand, whether the supply chain has affected prices, and we look at the key indicators. We can see that tomato, onion and potato prices have remained stable throughout this period of time. So there has been no change there, no significant change. 5 kgs of wheat, rice and 1 kg of pulses have been supplied under the NFSA and the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. 84.3 lakh metric tons of grains have been allocated per month for 70 crore beneficiaries. All this extremely important. Cooked meals to 1.5 crore people daily has been issued by the government and NGOs and industry. So seeing that, even the last man standing is taken care of. Milk and LPG cylinders, their supply is pretty much equal to what it was in pre-lockdown situation. So we can see that as far as essential commodities is concerned, nothing has been found to be lacking. Prices too, which could be an indicator, have remained stable, which is a clear indicator that the government has made these things available to the common man. Let's bring in our focus point for discussion tonight, and this is it. COVID-19 consolidating gains, staying ahead of the curve. COVID-19 consolidating gains, staying ahead of the curve. And to discuss this, we have with us in the studio Dr. V.K. Paul, is a member Niti Aayog, as well as the co-chairman of the Empowered Committee on the response to COVID, the government's response to COVID-19, as well as we have Sanjay Singh, who's with us. He's the political editor of firstpost.com. He's joining us via Skype. Dr. Paul, so we have made significant gains because of the lockdown, but the Prime Minister says that we have to start thinking about the economy now. And so there is been a graded response. Hospitals have built up their infrastructure. We are able to open up in red zone, in green zones, partially in certain amounts of orange zones. How would you see this going ahead now post May the 3rd?
Well, the purpose of lockdown has been to put a severe pressure on the transmission chain of the infection. The virus transmission has now received a jolt by this major action that the nation has taken by creating distancing, by shutting down and making very difficult for the virus to spread from one individual to the other, one family to the other. And in that regard, the effect is visible.
Yes.
At the start of our restrictions, the doubling time of infections was every 3 days. Every 3 days, the number of infections would double. And just before lockdown and around about the time of Janata curfew, we were doubling every 5 days or so. We are already improving. But today, the situation is that the doubling time is as much as 10 days. So it has become more difficult for the virus, more slow for the virus to progress. And imagine that we still have another 15 days for the impact, because the effect up to 3rd of May would actually last another 10 days or so. So we'll continue to have this gain, and as a result of this, the epidemic has been suppressed, or you can say flattened in a significant way, and we will know this exact position as we move on in the next few days.
Yes.
So that purpose was the main purpose that has been achieved. Number 2, the purpose was to use this time for preparation, and preparation on many fronts. Preparation, one, first and foremost, in terms of health system preparedness. I'm happy to state that in this short period of time, 2.3 lakh COVID-specific beds have been created. I'm happy to tell that almost 2 lakh COVID specific isolation beds have been created in addition. This is one test, and of course our supplies for PPE and masks and ventilators and other supplies, and also aligning the human resources have all taken place with fullest participation of the private sector as well. Our preparation in terms of testing facilities has gone up from a very few testing laboratories. Right in the beginning, only 1 lab. Today we have 350 plus laboratories.
Right.
And above all, the preparation of the people of India in terms of how to cope up with this pandemic over an extended period of time. The behavior has changed. We have learned to be socially
Yes.
distant and so on and
That's
so
an
forth.
important point that I'd like to take to Sanjay Singh. So the behavior of people have changed, and politically speaking also this, political parties would try to exploit the situation to some extent and try, force the hand of the government. I'm talking about opposition parties to end the lockdown, to make people start working, because people want to start working. But we've seen the example given by the UK Prime Minister himself. He's come back after recovering, and he says, he warns against lifting the lockdown. But how do you view the situation? Because, people have been clamoring that they need to go out and work.
Mark, I think what was very important that when Prime Minister first addressed the nation, and then when Janata curfew was imposed on March 22nd, I think,
Yes.
and the message that he gave, and the Janata curfew that came there, and subsequently that Thali and Tali, and thereafter Diya, and the current lockdown period. As Palsa was explaining, I think one of the major purposes that has served is to raise people's consciousness in mind of people. In some cases, police action could be there, and rightly so, under the circumstances when national lockdown is there. At times you have to force it. But the kind of consciousness that I see around, I'm not going out, but of course, when you talk to people, you see social pattern evolving. There is definite consciousness about the lockdown and about social distancing. So many festivals have passed. Currently, we are
Yes.
people are observing Ramzan month. And actually, that social distancing thing has come into effect. So you fear about corona, and at the same time, you are also conscious about your own responsibilities. Aap ghar ke andar, corona ghar ke bahar. The gains that we have got in this period, in say over
Right.
a month-long national lockdown, and I would, at this point, it's very difficult to hazard a guess as to what happens post May 3. May extend, maybe a greater response. Let's see how it turns out. Lockdown would be there in some form or the other. Some, of course, some measures would open up. I think at present, some surveys have also pointed out that Modi personally has emerged as the most popular leader, and worldwide his position has been accepted and acclaimed.
Right.
Because he was the one, Prime Minister of a country with 130 crore people, and country as vast as India. He had a very, very difficult choice in early stages. When he chose between life and livelihood, he chose life. Jaan
Right.
hai to jahan hai. That's
Right.
what he was. Later he said jaan bhi jahan.
Javi.
And today in Chief Minister's meeting, he talked about importance of economy, which clearly shows that he is very conscious of the state of economy and how it should come back to the rails. And therefore, what was very important as to today's message and people's response, greater response, of course, is coming from various quarters.
Yes.
And even if you say Rahul Gandhi, when he is attacking Prime Minister, at the end of the day, he would say that he wants to cooperate and he is cooperating. And
Okay.
people actually are not liking any kind of attack made on Prime Minister or on the government.
Right,
about
at a time
the
like this, when
fitness
the country
and
should
about the
stand
measures.
united, yes. Okay, Dr. V.K. Paul, the situation now with regard to testing because of the rapid tests being returned, of course, the government and the ICMR has come out clearly, and you are the co-chair of the MPARD committee as well, that we have no shortage of testing kits. You yourself had chaired that meeting, which had opened up testing to so many other labs, and testing was put on as the main priority in trying to sort out the problem. So, I mean, in that particular aspect, going ahead, since we are actually we only find like one case in 24 out of 24 tests as positive. So, I mean, we know that, you know, the virus is not really widespread. But in spite of that, people really are worried about testing. They want to see that testing continues. What would you like to tell them?
Essentially, India's response to COVID-19 in terms of testing strategy has been very gradual, graded, and responding to the needs as the outbreak unfolded. We started with one lab,
Yes.
and now we have 350 plus labs, and we are also opening up laboratories in most medical colleges one by one. In addition, that will be 300 potentially new laboratories and even more. So we have taken a stand that we would open up this strategy as much as it is needed to make the best use of resources and to do a quality work. So today our strategy is quite liberal, that in hotspots anybody with symptoms can also and should also be tested, and that's what the ultimate, you know, number is. You don't do this go around in normal individuals. So our testing strategy has been streamlined. It has stood the test of time, as you correctly said, that even when we have escalated from a few hundred to thousands of tests, the proportion of positivity has been about 4.5%,
Yes.
which means the disease is at that level, and the testing was not adding new cases per se in a given universe. Having said that, the current issue that has arisen because of the poor quality rapid tests which have to be returned to the country of origin should not worry us for two reasons. One, the diagnosis is based on RT-PCR testing, and RT-PCR kits are available in sufficient number. We have enough for it to be used in the country as per our strategy and even more, and we now have a huge geographic spread across the country to perform these tests. The antibody test which has been returned and which has been found faulty is not used primarily for diagnosis of an individual. It is used for getting a macro idea about the state of pandemic in a general population level. It allows us to plan to an extent. However, the problem with antibody tests of different origins, different companies, different nations has been there the world over. In fact, WHO warns that antibody tests should be used with caution, and there is no one single rule about their usage. So the reason is that the various antibody tests have their own diagnostic accuracy, which is highly variable. It's difficult to compare one with the other, and of course in current unfortunate incident, a particular brand or a batch or a
Yes.
supply
Okay.
has been found faulty. So nothing to worry at all. In terms of our thrust to control COVID-19, there is no let-up. Our own companies have started to make antibody tests. There will be more than what we need very soon in lakhs. And we have bought time as a result of our restrictions and lockdown, and we should have no concern to worry on that account.
Okay.
We will take
Sure.
care of it.
Sanjay Singh, you know, I mean, we live in very densely populated cities, and we know that slum areas also, you know, can be pretty tough. And if the virus starts spreading in those areas, if they become hotspots, very difficult to control. And there have been, you know, there's politics around much of these issues as well, about how to contain certain areas. What would you think? I mean, the government's policy has been to, once you find a hotspot, to completely seal it off, not allow anything, go there and do some surveillance, check whether, you know, the virus has spread in that area, and after a period of time make it an orange zone and then hopefully a green zone over time. And we have seen also that, you know, there has been the large number of districts where the virus has not been spreading for the last 14 to 28 days has increased. So we are seeing a lot of positive signs. But you know, the data, when it can be analyzed in a particular way to show that we are not making much progress. And maybe, you know, that kind of message is not going across, that we are actually making a lot of progress. So politically speaking, how would you look at this, and what is the message that should go across? from the ruling party?
Mark, I think the ruling party, the Prime Minister, the party workers, and also various NGOs and their related organizations, they are working, I think, in tandem. That's a good sign. That's a healthy sign. And this happens when you have a strong leadership at the center, at the helm. And at the moment, Mr. Modi being there, and as you said, very densely populated country, under the circumstances, I think, I'm no expert, but also our immunity level in our country is slightly stronger than the immunity level of people in perhaps Western countries. I'm no expert on that. That's
Yes.
what is my
Yeah.
belief. In terms of popular consciousness, what has actually happened with Modi's Man Ki Baats, his address to nation, his recorded messages, the thing that you're talking about, the social distancing, green zones, importance of lockdown, that has spread. In fact, today, if you talk to any person on the road, and they would talk about hotspots and green zone and red zone and orange zone. So that kind of communication that has happened from the top leadership to the bottom. Also because people working on the ground, all corona warriors, they have also effectively communicated. And people also have realized that that is the way out. I think at this hour, we need to stand as one country, one people. In actual numbers, yes, the number has gone up. We are something over 28,000.
Yes.
But in terms of percentage of the growth, that has perhaps a bit flattened and is not as high in terms of multiplication impact. That's a positive sign. But there are concerns in areas as in Gujarat and as in Maharashtra and
Yes,
in some
absolutely.
other emerging areas.
Yes.
So what has actually happened, the two major things were of concern India in a vast country, that we do not have adequate health infrastructure. And thankfully, and I would say that this needs to be commended and complimented to the government, that we created a very large infrastructure in very short period of time,
Yes.
very rapid.
Dr. Paul was just
200
saying
beds
over
and
2 lakh
isolation
beds.
wards and then,
Yes.
then so many things. And then also the welfare measures that this government took for the poor and for the needy in terms of ration to them, in terms of LPG to them, in
Right.
terms of transferring DBT in
Right,
their
right,
accounts. State have also cooperated to large extent. They have also come forward. They have their own scheme. And the
Okay.
center has done that very beautifully. Now about migrant workers. Migrant workers, as we saw last month around this time, 26, 27 March, thousands and thousands of people had gathered on bordering areas, place where I live in Kaushambi, on Delhi, Ghaziabad borders. And it was compliment to the leadership that by next day, by March 28, everything was cleared. People were transported wherever they had to. And
Right.
MHA came up with a guideline on, I think, March 28 afternoon. And now we are actually, so many states, an initiative was taken by Yogi Adityanath, other states followed, every state has its own dynamics. So we see that states are working in that direction. They are
Yes,
talking
absolutely.
among themselves in consultation with center. Center may not have come with a directive on the issue, but
Right.
I think somewhere that cooperation,
Absolutely.
cooperative federalism is also
Cooperative
at work.
federalism is working. Absolutely. Dr. Paul, let's look at the number of cases now in Delhi, for instance. It's close to 3,000 and probably will cross 3,000 maybe tomorrow. So the capital of the country, getting this kind of cases, and there are a number of hotspots here. What would you say? I mean, how do we deal with a situation like this? Because these are densely populated areas. We were hoping that the summer is going to come and, take away the virus. All these concerns, even Sanjay Singh was talking about us having our greater immunity, but all these things are not quite scientifically proved, isn't it?
Essentially, in
Yes.
most states, the disease has been controlled. At this point in time, compared to 2 weeks ago, the situation is better in most states. We have also learned that ultimately the outbreaks will happen in cities and will happen in parts of the cities, and we have learned that that is the kind of scenario we should be prepared with rather than a uniform,
A policy
pandemic
throughout,
all over.
yes, absolutely.
That's why it become very clear. So states have done well. That is why overarching flattening of the curve is starting to be visible. Remember, in none of the nations, for practical purposes, the pandemic has been controlled without such measures. Other nations have taken this decision of shutting down much later.
Much later.
What is important for us to realize is that this nation took a decision under the leadership of the Prime Minister at a point where we can stem the infection, suppress the chain of transmission, reduce the infection in terms of burden, slow down its progress, and to be ready for the next phase. And that is where we have succeeded as a nation.
Right. And so, you know, Dr. Paul, also we have a number of people who are recovering and the numbers are increasing.
Yeah.
And that percentage is going to be important over time. But we also need to know that even the number of asymptomatic cases, that's also a sign that these people have some sort of immunity in a sense to the virus. So all this could be utilized in a way. I mean, now we are talking about solutions to the virus in terms of cures, and we know plasma therapy is working in some cases, in the most desperate cases, and symptomatic treatment is working as well. So what would you say is the road ahead in I'm talking about if we have a solution, can't we open up a little bit as a result of the confidence we have in a solution?
So the short answer to the
Yes.
second last part of your
Yeah.
input is that we should start to open up in a systematic way. We have gained a very major aspect of containing the outbreak to an extent, to a very significant extent, and it will come handy not just tomorrow but in coming weeks and months in terms of preparation that we have done. So we must now be ready to make sure that we move to the next phase where there is opening up of the economy, there is sharing of space outside the homes and so on and so forth, but in a graded and a systematic
response, yes.
scientific way with the fullest participation of the state governments and the local administration. We have to be moving toward new normal. You are right that on the horizon would be the final frontiers of our fight, so to say, which means either effective drugs and or the vaccine.
Yes.
And that, as you know, there is a global chase to find the right drugs that would work. We have some successes, some setbacks here and there, but that is something in which India is also very effectively participating. We also are chasing to find an effective vaccine. There are developments globally, and India and Indian companies and Indian academia and laboratories are a part of that endeavor. Yes, we have to buy time till such big cures are available before the virus is fully eliminated and extinguished.
So by time they are saying 6 to 8 months,
yes,
Dr. Paul, yes?
Yeah, but that's the way things are, but we are in the game.
Okay.
And we will mount a very, very effective research and innovation effort, as the Honorable Prime Minister also made reference to. And India has wherewithal to find science solutions to this pandemic.
So we have the
For the world, not only for
right.
India,
We
but
have
also
the
for the world.
wherewithal, Dr. Paul, as far as the medical side is concerned, but what about the economy? That's another question that, you know, the Prime Minister has raised right now, and that's the issue that, I mean, we need to open up to some extent so that the economy starts to generate that economic dividend which can be transferred into a bigger fight, in a sense.
Well,
What
that
would you
is
say?
needed indeed.
Absolutely
And that
needed.
is why Jahan Bhi or Jahan
Jahan
Bhi,
Bhi.
this balance has to be now there.
Okay.
And based on this philosophy and a new direction from the Prime Minister, the economy has to open up. And you can see that
Okay.
even in this phase, you look at the achievements in terms of ensuring supply chains
Absolutely,
and
that's what we
stimulus
saw.
to Manrega and so on. 80% of the Rabi crop has been harvested, and
Yes.
80% mandis have been working. I think it's very, very proud achievement on the part
Okay.
of our country that, you know,
Fair
the
enough.
fundamental supply chains have remained intact. There are no shortages of any
Okay.
major essential commodities.
A final word from you, Sanjay Singh. So, I mean, we are not sure what's going to happen post the 3rd of May, but, you know, judging by what Dr. Paul is saying, we should be prepared either way, it looks like, you know, and we have what it takes, we have the wherewithal. How would you look at it, you know, politically at this point in time? We know that, the Prime Minister has gained in his stature because of the decisions he's taken. But this, an economy that is suffering, it could always lead to a lot of tension. And so politically, how would you look at it?
Yeah, that part will have to be managed. But
Yes.
Look at a situation whereby the stamp of governance of Prime Minister Modi is there. But
Yes.
now the challenge is to maintain a balance between life and livelihood and economy getting back to rails.
Yes.
Today he has talked about it. The social tensions that may emerge because of adverse economic situation that may arise post corona kind of threat subsides, that obviously would be in top of agenda of the government. But fortunately, we have enough food stock and we have also resources to kind of take care of people at large.
Yes.
Also, remember, Mark, Prime Minister's appeal to the employers in private sector that, if you see broadly, has yielded some good results, in the sense that prior to that there was some distressing news coming from various parts.
Yes.
That has also kind of flattened. And I think the other part, the economy part that you're talking about, of course, that's a question. That's a key concern for the government. But then, of course, the lockdown cannot go at this point in time. Some relaxation would be there. That's what
It would be graded. I mean, that we can see that the government has been using a graded response all along. Thank you very much, Dr. V.K. Paul and Sanjay Singh, for helping us learn more about the situation that we are in currently with regard to COVID-19 and helping us keep our confidence levels high. Moving to our next story then. The Union Health Minister, Dr. Harsh Vardhan, held a video conference with the directors of All India Institute of Medical Sciences located across the country, as well as JIPMER, Puducherry, and they took stock of preparations in view of COVID-19. The meeting saw the Union Health Minister call upon all these institutions to be ready, to ready themselves for the future needs, as well as he assured them of giving all possible help from the center in the future.
उनके सामने एक तो वहाँ पर जो कोविड के लिए उन्होंने तैयारियाँ की हैं, बेड्स के मामले में, लेबॉर्ट्री टेस्टिंग के मामले में, पेशेंट्स की केयर के मामले में, और इसके साथ साथ भविष्य में भगवान ना करे तकलीफ़ ज़्यादा हो जाए देश में, तो उस समय के लिए उनकी क्या क्या तैयारियाँ हैं, एक तो उसका सारा रिव्यू किया है। उनको अगर किसी और चीज़ की भारत सरकार की तरफ से आवश्यकता है तो उसके बारे में भी उनसे हमने पता किया है। मान लीजिए उनको और वेंटिलेटर्स चाहिए और उनको कोई पीपीई किट्स वगैरह चाहिए, लेकिन मुझे खुशी है कि सबने मोटे तौर पर ये कहा कि उनके पास सब कुछ पर्याप्त मात्रा में है, लेकिन हमने उन्हें विश्वास दिलाया कि आपको जो कुछ भी चाहिए वो आप लीजिए।
The Interministerial Central Team, headed by the Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Arun Baroka, visited various places in Hyderabad, and during this visit in Kiratabad zone, the central team visited the containment zone at Humayun Nagar, and they inquired with the GHMC officials about the services there, that they are being rendered to the residents of the containment zone in the emergency cases of diabetes, especially of paralysis, BP, and door-to-door fever survey was done. Further, they asked about the facilities like spraying and sanitation of the area. The team interacted with the residents of the containment zone on the services being provided to them by the officials. The Commissioner of GHMC, DS Lokesh Kumar, praised the team, apprised them of the facilities there, and also of the measures being taken to contain COVID-19 in these containment zones. Later, the team inspected the government's quarantine center, which was set up at Sarojini Devi Eye Hospital, and also inquired about the facilities being provided there. The team inspected the central drug store, asked how they are supplying medicines to other districts and the mode of transport as well. As the number of cases soars of coronavirus, Madhya Pradesh has recorded a total of 2,096 coronavirus cases in the state, with fatalities rising to 103. However, 302 patients still now have been cured and they've been discharged. These are those patients from different cities of Madhya Pradesh, and here are some of them citing their experiences.
Though there has been a rise in active COVID-19 cases across the country, but what comes as a relief is that till now, 6,361 patients have recovered, a figure which is 22.41% of the total number of patients. In several states, patients have recovered and gone back home after treatment. One such patient, Sanjay Agarwal, came back home having recovered at Indore's Aurobindo Hospital. He expressed gratitude at the hospital and nursing staff for the excellent arrangements made.
4 अप्रैल से एडमिट था बॉम्बे हॉस्पिटल से पॉजिटिव रिपोर्ट आने पर यहाँ शिफ्ट किया गया था मुझे कोई तकलीफ नहीं हुई मुझे यहाँ पर सभी व्यवस्था बहुत बढ़िया की हुई है और पेशेंट सब मतलब पूरी तरह संतुष्ट हैं और सब अच्छे होकर ही जा रहे हैं यहाँ से डिस्चार्ज हो रहे हैं.
While the serving additional SP posted at Mahu in Indore district returned home after 15 days of treatment at Aurobindo Hospital, he congratulated the hospital staff for good care and treatment.
मुझे यहाँ पर अरविंदो हॉस्पिटल में 14-15 दिन हो गए और मेरा अच्छा केयर किया गया. मैं आशा करता हूँ कि अरविंदो में ऐसे ही जैसे अभी थोड़ा सिस्टमैटिक हो गया है वैसे ही चलता रहेगा तो काफ़ी पेशेंट्स आते ठीक होकर निकले.
A patient from Indore's Annapurna area, Somi Naik, also got discharged after her treatment was completed. She expressed her gratitude to the hospital staff and urged everyone to follow lockdown measures.
मेरी रिपोर्ट्स 11 को आई थी कि मैं कोविड-19 पॉजिटिव हूँ बट देन हम लोग को जब हॉस्पिटलाइज किया गया यहाँ पे तो यहाँ पे फैसिलिटीज़ हमको प्रोवाइड की गई प्रॉपर मेडिकेशंस प्रोवाइड किए टाइम टू टाइम हर चीज़ें प्रोवाइड की गई हमें तो उससे थोड़ा बेनिफिशियल हुआ हमें एंड मैं बहुत जल्दी रिकवर हो गई उस वजह से एंड आई एम फिट एंड फाइन नाउ एंड फाइनली मैं डिस्चार्ज हो रही हूँ तो थैंक्स टू ऑल द डॉक्टर्स.
The first corona positive patient from Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, Sameer, has recovered and is back home. Returning back home from hospital, he expressed gratitude at doctors and nursing staff and appealed to the people to follow the rules of the administration.
पूरे मतलब स्टाफ को अपनी फैमिली बना लिया था बढ़िया रहे किसी ने कोई कमी नहीं होनी थी. थैंक यू दिल से थैंक यू.
A recovered journalist in Bhopal said that patients should drink water with proper intakes and maintain proper hygiene. He added that his family and friends boosted his morale, which helped him win the battle against corona.
बहुत अच्छी ट्रीटमेंट हुई है और बहुत अच्छा स्टाफ है सब फ्रेंडली हैं और डरने की कुछ ज़रूरत नहीं है बस ठीक हो जाके 14 डेज.
While wife of a corona victim in Morena appealed to people to stay at home in this difficult phase and to take this disease seriously and help the government.
डॉक्टर स्टाफ पूरा जितनी भी मैडम हैं कलेक्टर मैडम सब लोगों ने हमारा बहुत साथ दी हमारी ज़िंदगी बचाई है. सब डॉक्टर वगैरह पूरा स्टाफ बहुत अच्छा है सब हमारा बहुत अच्छे से ख्याल रखा खाने पीने को हमको सब कुछ मिला सफाई देखभाल पूछताछ सब कुछ हमारा बहुत अच्छे से ख्याल रखा सर. कोई बात की प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई घर पे जा रहे हैं सर बहुत खुशी हो रही है. मेरा ये सब लोगों से कहना है कि इस बीमारी को हल्के में ना लीजिए ये बहुत खतरनाक बीमारी है. अपना अच्छे से सेफ्टी रखिए अपने बच्चों को समझाइए घर में रहिए सेफ रहिए.
A corona positive woman gave birth to a healthy baby who was tested negative and was taken good care by the hospital staff. The mother, after getting discharged, said that staff was cooperative and supportive in giving proper treatment to both of them.
बहुत अच्छे से ध्यान रखा हम लोगों का दोनों का मम्मी मदर का बेबी का बार बार पूछते थे आके बेबी का चेकअप होता था रोज़ाना चेकअप होता था बच्चों के डॉक्टर आते थे उसका चेकअप करने मेरा भी करने पूछने बेबी पेट में था जब भी मतलब बहुत ध्यान रखा.
The states of Maharashtra, Gujarat and Delhi account for a major chunk of COVID-19 patients in the country. Maharashtra has the highest number of COVID-19 patients, while Gujarat is second and Delhi is in third place. Meanwhile, Health Ministry has made it clear that there is no danger of transmission from those patients who have come back home after recovering and being fully cured. Bureau Report, DD News.
The India Post Office Network, the largest postal service in the world, is now delivering life-saving medicines from doorstep delivery of essentials, financial transactions and medical equipment to ensuring food and ration for the needy. India Post Office Network works round the clock to assist people. It has come to the rescue of some people during the countrywide lockdown. Many people, in fact.
अपने पिताजी को भेजनी है वो हार्ट के मरीज हैं ये दिल्ली से दवाई चलती है उनकी तो अभी इससे भेज रहे हैं.
बेंगलुरु अपना जो है ये मेडिकल का इक्विपमेंट है
जो मैं बेंगलोर भेज रहा हूँ। ये सर मेडिकल की शॉप पर जाएगा यहाँ से डायरेक्ट।
ये अपनी बेटी के पास में वहाँ भेज रही हूँ गुजरात। ये दवाइयाँ हैं।
ये मैं अपने बड़ौदा ऑफिस कोई ज़रूरी डाक थी वो भेज रहा हूँ।
मैं अभिनंदन करूंगा, हमारे डाक विभाग के लोगों ने बहुत ही बढ़िया काम किया है। एक तो दवा पहुंचाना, क्योंकि आपके जो ट्रैफिक सर्विस है, चाहे वो रेलवे हो या कुरियर सर्विस है, हवाई जहाज से वो चलती है, तो वो इक्विपमेंट्स पहुंचा रहे हैं, दवाएं पहुंचा रहे हैं। कई विभागों ने मुझसे कहा, प्रदेशों ने कहा, तो उन्होंने उसमें मदद किया है। फिर मेरे सामने एक और समस्या आई कि बहुत से लोगों को लाइफ सेविंग ड्रग्स चाहिए। मैंने निर्देश दिया अपने सचिव को कि आप इस बात की चिंता करें कि देश भर में किसी को भी अपनी जीवन दायिनी दवा भिजवाना है तो पोस्टल विभाग मदद करे।
The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed the health officials to make quarantine centers with a capacity of up to 25,000 patients in each district. Informing this to the media, the Additional Chief Secretary Avinash Awasthi said that these quarantine centers will play a key role in the fight against COVID-19 in Uttar Pradesh.
हर जनपद में 15 से 25 हजार लोगों के लिए क्वारंटाइन सेंटर, यानी लगभग 10 से 15 लाख से अधिक लोगों को क्वारंटाइन सेंटर में रखने की क्षमता बनाने का निर्देश उन्होंने दिया है। ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण निर्देश है।
The police is not letting any effort, giving up any chance at all. They are doing their best to stress the importance of staying at home. To drive home this point, in fact, the police in many states have adopted tough measures, and this includes punishing the violators of the lockdown. The Delhi police came up with an innovative strategy on Monday. The police sleuths, they transformed themselves into coronavirus zombies on Monday, wearing white protective suits and helmets shaped like the coronavirus in a bid to convince people to practice social distancing. The police officials in many states have got some creative ideas in their effort to promote social distancing and to deter lockdown violations. The effect was visible as the outfits made people sit up and take notice, and it also drove home the message where it mattered most: stay at home.
जैसे ये सड़क पर आते हैं, उन लोगों को समझाते हैं, रोक के समझाते हैं, तो उसका एक परमानेंट एक जो छवि है उनके दिमाग में बन जाती है कि ये वायरस निश्चित रूप से कितना खतरनाक है, और इसके लिए वो सारी प्रिकॉशन जो उनको लेनी चाहिए वो लेने की कोशिश करते हैं.
And Delhi police has expressed its gratitude to the devotees and caretakers of the historic Gurdwara Bhangla Sahib in the city as a token of appreciation for the Sikh community, which has been at the forefront in providing free food to people who are needing it during this current lockdown. The policemen did a siren parikrama of the Gurdwara with their vehicles. Now, the Delhi Sikh Gurdwara Management Committee, President Manjinder Singh Sirsa later felicitated the policemen inside the Gurdwara. The police officials later visited the Langar Hall and they participated in seva of preparing food. The Sikh community has drawn all-round applause and praise for deep appreciation as well for their selfless service during these difficult times. And with most of the businesses shut and lives coming to a total halt, the streets wore a deserted look because of the lockdown announced on the 25th of March last to contain the spread of coronavirus pandemic. Stray animals have to suffer in search of food, and at this challenging time, an NGO based in Jorhat city of Assam named Purhor, Voice of the Voiceless, has come forward to feed stray animals, providing them with free treatment. Here's a report.
While most of the people are confined to the safety of their homes, stray animals that found a home on the streets had nowhere to go. They are not getting the leftovers and are suffering due to the lockdown. Hence, several volunteers of Pohor, a non-government organization based in Upper Assam's Jorhat, have come forward to feed dogs facing starvation due to the lockdown.
Pohor is basically an organization which deals with the feeding of the stray animals, especially the canines, and which is our main objective. And also feeding them time to time and vaccinating them and giving them treatment on time. And we are a member of more than 100 people in Puhor.
The stray dogs in Jorhat town need not worry about food and a caring hand anymore, with Puhor providing shelter, rescue and free medical treatment.
सारे रेस्टोरेंट्स वगैरह सब जो खाने वाले जितने भी हैं रास्ते के डस्टबिन्स भी हटा दिए गए हैं और कोई भी कहीं खाना नहीं मिल रहा है, तो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है, बिकॉज हमारा मिशन ही वही है। जानवर बोल नहीं सकते उनको, तो उनको खाना वगैरह दे रहे हैं। तो जितने भी जीव जंतु हैं उनको ट्राई करते हैं कि कहीं फंस गए हैं, कहीं मुसीबत में है, कहीं कोई बीमार है, तो उसको भी हम लोग मेडिसिन वगैरह देके हमारे साथ में NGOs के साथ में हम लोग जोड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं।
Around 150 of these street dogs have been given anti-rabies vaccination at an anti-rabies camp held on the 1st of March this year in Jorhat to ensure safety from this life-threatening disease. Puhor, which is working for animal welfare, was formed on the 1st of January 2020 in Jorhat. It is now planning to reach out to neighboring areas and extend a helping hand to stray animals.
These stray dogs behind me are just having a hearty meal. Thanks to the efforts made by these volunteers of NGO by the name Puhor in the Jorhat city of Assam. They are providing these animals with food, shelter as well as free medical treatment. Such deeper engagements goes a long way to reiterate our faith in humanity in these trying times. With camera person Rishu Singh, this is Dwena reporting for DD News.
The UN and WHO have lauded India's efforts in the fight against COVID-19. WHO's Regional Emergency Director spoke exclusively to DD Dialogue and said that WHO looks up to India because of India's history of being able to eradicate diseases like smallpox and polio. The Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India and the Finance Department, Dr. Subramanian Krishnamurthy, said that the Jan Dhan Yojana has helped to reach the deprived sections of society. The UN resident coordinator has also said that India was among the first countries to react to the pandemic with urgency. Prasar Bharati CEO Shashi Shekhar Vempati pointed out that the Prime Minister in his blog was thinking 2 steps ahead, and the Prime Minister's national outreach on the pandemic has made this fight a big movement. You can watch the entire discussion at 10 p.m. tonight on DD News. It's called DD Dialogue.
You are at the front line, battling the economy, battling the pandemic. We are here to support you as the public broadcaster of the world's largest democracy. And what the Prime Minister wrote in his LinkedIn blog, he was already thinking 2 steps ahead, that we'll eventually come out of this pandemic. But what do we need to do to get our economy going? And so we take a leadership position. And as Doctor was rightly pointing out, there's a lot that India can show to the world.
WHO that we are looking up to India because there's a whole history of India being able to eradicate diseases, whether it was smallpox, if you do remember, as well as polio very recently in 2014. And I think because I work in the region, the perspective of countries around the region, they're very attuned to outbreaks like this. It was not so long ago that SARS was there.
The COVID has changed the contours of the globe, and post that, it's going to be a different world. But what is more important is that world will continue to look at India, look up to India.
And India is among those countries, for sure. India acted very quickly. India, I think it was on the 6th of January that China actually declared that this was a virus from the corona strain, right, or family. And on the 7th, already the Minister of Health was, convening people. And on the 17th, as you said yourself, I think he was already giving advisories to all states and union territories. Very shortly after that, the Prime Minister convened an empowered group of his ministers to work in a whole-of-government manner.
Those countries that actually have been, ahead of the curve, taking the necessary measures to protect lives, are the ones where the eventual impact on the economy is also likely to be better. That's the rationale for the measures that we've actually adopted, starting with the lockdown on the 24th March.
India is at the war footing, though under lockdown mode, but dealing with it. And most importantly, the measures taken by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi were timely and decisive.
Well, yoga can prove to be a boon during the lockdown period, and regular practice makes the mind, body both healthy, removes depression, it increases immunity as well. So some people in Jaipur are practicing yoga. Let's look at this ground report by our correspondent Vishal Barristow.
A joint family of 3 generations practicing yoga on the rooftop of their home. This is a routine practice of this family, and the objective is increasing immune power in the fight against COVID-19.
हम प्रतिदिन पूरे परिवार के साथ योगाभ्यास और प्राणायाम करते हैं, क्योंकि योग और प्राणायाम से ही हम इस बीमारी से मुक्ति पा सकते हैं और शरीर में जो इसके लड़ने की क्षमता इसी से हम बढ़ा सकते हैं। इसलिए नियमित रूप से हम योग और प्राणायाम करते हैं।
Female members of the family take active part in the yoga practice along with male members.
मैं अपनी फैमिली के साथ, अपने बच्चों के साथ कुछ टाइम बैठते हैं हम लोग और प्राणायाम वगैरह ये सब करते हैं, जिससे हम लोग सब लोग स्वस्थ रहे और कोरोना को चुनौती दे सके।
And in this practice, they don't need the guidance of any yoga guru. This young member of the family who has been practicing yoga since childhood has become a guiding force for all of them.
मैं बचपन से ही इसका अभ्यास कर रहा हूँ और स्कूल के दिनों से ही हम लोग को हमारे जो गुरुजी थे हमारा अभ्यास किया करते थे और ये तभी से ही कंटिन्यू है और इसको मैंने अपनी एक लाइफ का पार्ट बना लिया है और जब तक जिंदा हूँ तब तक जरूर करूँ।
Vishal Barristow's report from Jaipur for DD India.
The Environment and Forests and Climate Change Minister Prakash Javadekar has held an annual meeting of the Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education. After that meeting, he said that the government is aiming to ensure that the forest research benefits and it benefits farmers, and more focus will be given that there is no dearth of money on the forest Vigyan Kendras as well as forest research.
जंगल की तबीयत सुधरनी चाहिए, इससे किसान को फायदा होना चाहिए, एग्रो फॉरेस्ट्री को जोर होना चाहिए और उसके साथ साथ ये सारे यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के साथ भी कनेक्टेड रहे और अन्य CSIR के लैब्स और बाकी लैब्स के साथ भी रहे, ताकि हमारा शोध सार्थक हो, दुनिया में उसका रिकॉग्निशन हो और किसान को और सभी लोगों को, देश को वो उपयोगी बने।
Well, in order to ease the redemption pressures related to closure of some debt mutual funds, the RBI announced 50,000 crore rupees as special liquidity facility for mutual funds. At this stage, the large industry remains liquid, and some debt funds are feeling the pressure. Now, under the SLF-MF, the RBI shall conduct repo operations of 90 days tenor at the fixed repo rate. The SLF-MF is on tap and open-ended, and also banks can submit their bids to avail funding on any day from Monday to Friday, which excludes holidays. The scheme is available from today, from the 27th of April 2020 till the 11th of May 2020, or up to utilization of the allocated amount, whichever is earlier. The Reserve Bank also said that it will review the timeline and amount depending upon the market conditions. And with that, we conclude News Night for tonight. Thanks very much for being with us. Namaskar.